There's a reason you clicked this. And if you're still watching 10 seconds in, I already know one thing about you. You've been too nice for too long. And deep down, you're starting to hate the way that feels. See, nobody warns you that being the nice guy isn't about kindness. It's about sacrifice, your time, your energy, your self-respect. And the moment a Sigma male realizes that, something shifts inside him. The smile fades. The patience runs dry. The leash snaps. If that sounds like you, you're not broken, you're waking up. And when a Sigma stops being nice, let's talk about what really happens when the lone wolf finally stops wagging his tail and starts showing his fangs. Oh, and by the way, I've got something very special for you. Sigma's Black Book of Untouchable Power. It's an ebook that contains the forbidden secret knowledge that will turn you into the man others fear and respect. Warning, this will be deleted soon. The elite don't want you to see this. Grab it in the description section or pinned comment below. 1. The death of the people pleaser. A quiet rebellion. A Sigma male doesn't wake up one day and say, "I'm done being nice." It's not a performance. It's not some angsty meltdown. It's a shift, a cold, deliberate recalibration of boundaries. You see, the Sigma male starts his journey with empathy, not weakness, but an understanding of how the world works. He listens, he gives, he supports. But society takes that and bleeds it dry. People mistake his calm for compliance, his kindness for consent, and his patience for passivity. But there's always a final straw. It's quiet, no fireworks, just something simple, a favor unreturned, a betrayal shrugged off, a last-minute ghosting. And something in him snaps, not outwardly, but inward, a reset. He no longer holds space for those who take. He no longer explains his silence. He no longer absorbs chaos that isn't his. And when that moment arrives, it doesn't come with rage. It comes with indifference. That's the scariest part. When a Sigma male stops being nice, he doesn't get louder. He gets more precise, more unshakable, more distant. It's not revenge, it's evolution. And from that point on, everything changes. 2. When the mask falls off, power without permission. The world is used to men asking for permission to exist. Be softer, be nicer, be agreeable. That's what they tell you. But when a Sigma male sheds his nice guy skin, the transformation isn't cosmetic. It's nuclear. Suddenly his time becomes sacred. His no becomes final. And the people who once used his kindness as currency, they start panicking. Why? Because he's not apologizing for his standards anymore. He walks away mid-conversation, leaves texts on read, pulls out of relationships that drain more than they give. And here's the twist. He doesn't announce any of it. No long rants, no Instagram story breakdowns, just silence. He becomes a man who doesn't bend, not because he's stubborn, but because he knows what his peace is worth. Women notice it first. She'll say, "You've changed." But what she really means is, "I don't have power over you anymore." Friends will distance themselves, not because he's rude, but because his presence now demands respect, not validation. He's not cold, he's just done filtering his truth to protect others' comfort. And that right there is where the real strength kicks in. Not in flexing, not in fighting, but in refusing to shrink to make others feel tall. 3. The rise of the untouchable man. When a Sigma male stops being nice, he enters a new frequency. One where he's no longer accessible to chaos, gossip, or guilt trips. He no longer feels obligated to fix others. He's not cruel, but he is unavailable to anything that costs him his mental clarity. This is when he becomes untouchable. Not because he's perfect, but because he's done bleeding for people who wouldn't bandage him. His boundaries become quiet weapons. He speaks less, but when he does, it lands with gravity. He doesn't chase, he observes, he calculates. And here's the kicker. The world doesn't know how to handle it. People will call him arrogant, detached, emotionless. But it's none of those things. It's self-respect with a backbone. It's kindness with sharp edges. It's choosing solitude over superficiality. Every single time. He's not playing the game anymore. He's designing his own. This version of the Sigma doesn't tolerate crumbs of loyalty, half-hearted affection, or vague apologies. He's seen too much, lost too much, rebuilt too much. And now he walks like a man who owes no one an explanation, because the nice version of him was tolerated. But this version is unforgettable. 4. Silence becomes his weapon and his armor. Here's what no one tells you. When a Sigma male stops being nice, he doesn't become a loudmouth or a show-off. He doesn't go off posting quotes about cutting people off. He just disappears inward. And that silence, it becomes deadly, not in the sense of violence, but in impact. Because people no longer know where they stand with him. They used to expect him to explain his emotions, to smooth over every awkward edge, to always be the bigger person. But not anymore. Now, he just walks away and says nothing, and silence is terrifying to people who were used to controlling him with guilt, obligation, or the illusion of friendship. When a Sigma male becomes silent, he stops engaging in drama. He stops entertaining manipulation. He doesn't defend himself because defending implies you're seeking approval. And a Sigma stopped needing that the moment he cut the nice guy umbilical cord. Let them gossip. Let them assume. He's not playing PR anymore. That silence is misunderstood as coldness. But it's not. It's healing. It's recharging. It's the Sigma taking inventory of his energy and only spending it where there's growth. And here's the deep part. When you stop speaking to people who drained you, you stop being the version of yourself they constructed. You return to who you were before the world taught you to please. That's why silence is both a weapon and armor. And once he learns to wield it, he becomes untouchable. 5. No more apologies for evolving. There's a point every Sigma male hits when he stops saying sorry for things he should never apologize for. He's done apologizing for walking away from people who didn't value him. He's done apologizing for raising his standards. He's done apologizing for wanting more than shallow validation, fake loyalty, or breadcrumb affection. Because now, he sees it for what it is. People get uncomfortable when you no longer play small. They like the version of him who over-explained, who checked in even when they didn't deserve it, who bent backwards to keep the peace. But peace isn't peace if it costs your dignity. That nice guy version of the Sigma was just the early version. The one who hadn't yet figured out that outgrowing people isn't betrayal, it's survival. Now, he says no without softening it. He exits rooms without needing closure. He chooses his path, even if it means walking it alone. Because evolution is lonely at first, but it's also liberating. When a Sigma stops being nice, he's not becoming a villain. He's just stepping into his full form. No mask, no leash, no more compromises. And that version of him, he's not just respected, he's remembered. You weren't built to be soft-spoken and stepped on. You were built to evolve, even if that means becoming the man they no longer recognize or can't control. And if anything in this video hit home, if you've ever felt that silent shift inside you, the moment you knew being nice was killing you, then you already know what you are. A Sigma who stopped asking for permission. Now here's what I want you to do. Drop the word unapologetic in the comments if you're done diluting your power for people who wouldn't bleed for you. Because I read every one of them. And if you're walking this path, quietly, powerfully, you're not alone. We move in silence, but we recognize our own. And before you vanish back into the shadows, tap subscribe, brother. Because this isn't just a channel, this is a signal to every man who's done playing by weak rules in a loud world. You didn't come here by accident. You came because you're done being nice and ready to be unapologetically you. We're just getting started.